Can you keep up with the pace of market regulatory reform? MarketsReformWiki.com, the place to keep up.
Tell us about NLX.
Well, NLX is going to be a platform based here in London, a data centre here in London, typical low latency exchange, and it's going to trade interest rate products on the listed derivative side, so that's futures and options on futures. And now currently those are actually divided between two exchanges, Life and Eurex. The short term are traded in Life and the long terms in Eurex. And NLX will actually trade all that suite of products on one platform, so across the whole yield curve. And we'll also be cross-margining those and clearing them all at LCH ClearNet, which is quite a unique sort of service proposition and hasn't been done before.
What types of products do you plan on offering?
The listed interest rate suite, so for everyone who knows those, that's the Euribor, short sterling, and then the Bund Bobble Schatz, so say going out the whole yield curve. So those will be lookalike products to start with, but we do think there's a lot of opportunity to innovate new products post-launch, and we're already talking to customers about that as part of our phase 2 development.
What's going to differentiate NLX?
Certainly we were low on fees. I think a lot of people would see if you're going into competition with the current incumbent exchanges, you're going to be aggressive on pricing, and we will be. But really, the true price differential comes from the post-trade piece. So at the moment, as I said, you've got both of those sitting at different clearinghouses, different exchanges, whereas with us, they're all going to be at the same place. And what that means is not only are you going to have competitive clearing fees through clearing at LCH, but also the post-trade efficiency where you can cross-margin across those STIRs and the long terms will be a significant benefit. And that's really been the piece that we feel is interesting customers. Yes, it's nice to have lower pricing, obviously, but really that'll be the key differential.
Is this the right time for a new exchange?
Well, it is. The regulatory landscape's changing. I think most people are pretty tied up with Dodd-Frank this year. So certainly we've been negotiating that time and finalising it with the customers. But we do believe it's important to be out there by Q1 next year. We think that's going to be really the crux of when we're going to take advantage of that change of the landscape. Also, you'll have seen some announcements, people on the panels at IDX talking about how Life's going to leave LCH in approximately 12 months' time. So there's going to be a lot of change in the post-trade landscape in Europe. And also what we have is with these margin offsets, which is the key buzzword, is those will actually be reciprocal. So if other exchanges or platforms want to clear at LCH and want to have reciprocal offsets with the NLX products, we'll be able to do that too. So we believe that timing to come out by Q1 at the latest is going to be key to us.
Who will be your customer base?
We're actually going to be using the Genium iNet platform, and that's what we use in our Nordic fixed income, but it's also what we sell to other exchanges. So a lot of people are very familiar with that, which makes it a lot easier for people to come and join the platform. The customer base, it's going to be the typical example of a market. So it's going to be the banks on one side, coming into the high frequency firms, the prop shops. We're going to have market making schemes in from day one to make sure we've got tight prices. But also this is a relevant topic for the buy side, the end customer, who are seeking for those post-trade efficiencies in the new regulatory landscape. So that's something that's key to them, so we've also been engaging them as well.
What is the potential for your exchange in this market?
We really sense that now's the time for competition. We've typically had these silos in Europe. We do sense that people would like to see competition in the market. It's been sort of muted before, but nobody's really gone into it as aggressively as we have. So we think that's going to really differentiate us out. We think that's going to give us potential room for some rapid growth on the market. Obviously early days now, we're onboarding customers, we're talking to them in technical discussions at the moment, but obviously we want to have that core set of customers for launch and these market making schemes to make sure we have that strong launch, and then it will be a general push out post that.